And I'm glad to get the opportunity to get up and get some observations on the record in the second reading portion of Bill 10, the Alberta Land Stewardship Amendment Act 2011. This is a singularly important bill because it has significance in so many different arenas. There's no question that it has considerable significance and opportunity for political parties to further a particular cause. And I know that one of the opposition parties has been my colleagues to the... Yeah, they're seated to my left. They're certainly not politically over there. Have made hay with this over the break, and have probably increased their membership based on the reaction to the initial bill. And of course, now we see the government trying to reclaim credibility and lost ground around this. I think this is also a significant bill because it has a great impact for rural and urban issues, and in some cases rural versus urban issues. But I will come back to that. I think what we also see here is property rights versus public good, and those two concepts coming into conflict with each other. So I was given, the import of all of this. I was surprised to see the intention signaled by the government that they wanted to push the entire second reading through this afternoon, which I never think is wise because it tends to get backs up. But we certainly had that signaled. I don't know that that's in fact going to happen now, but we'll see how it rolls out. One of the things that I see in the original bill, and I still see in this amending bill, is reflective of a government philosophy of centralization of power. And this administration in particular has been centralization crazy, mad, let me put it that way, I'm sorry. We had the health regions were centralized into one. The children's regions have been centralized down into fewer of them. We've had this land planning initiative is very much centralized into control that goes back into cabinet. I also see the government's philosophy of very careful control of public input reflected in the original Alberta Land Stewardship Bill, and it still exists in what I'm seeing through the amending bill. And I think there's also less so, and I'm sure the minister is going to argue back with me, so I look forward to that. But I would also argue that certainly in the original bill there was a deliberate clouding of process, very difficult to figure out what the heck was supposed to go on here and how it was all supposed to work. And I've been working my way back and forth, and this is what the pages laugh at me for, but I've now managed to cover 3 desks with reference papers because I'm going back and forth between the original Land Stewardship Bill, between the Municipal Government Act, the amending act that we have here, and a number of other notes and reports that have been produced on this bill. So I end up taking up a lot of space. And I apologize to my colleagues for that. But it's not easy to track this stuff, and you really are going back and forth between all of these. And really, I do legislation for a living. So I have a better sense of how to do this. I can't imagine being someone out in the community trying to put this one together and follow it. So it doesn't surprise me that people have been flooding into information sessions that have been offered in certain areas of Alberta to try and get information on how this works.